I hope I set that up. I think I did. I think I did. Yeah, I did. Hey. Uh, uh, uh. Do, 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 do. All right. When is my link? Where is the linkage? I think the link is here. Open up this one right here. Give me 1 second, y'all. I am getting the link for the stream going. All right. I don't know why it's switching up on me. Copy this. Paste this here into the Discord and hit submit. Bong. What up, what up, what up? I hope everybody's doing well. Gonna give some people some time to get up in here. Shout out in the chat whenever you pop in. Boom, boom. My boom, 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 boom. Well, you can see I am organizing today a little bit better. I've got all my notes. I don't have time to really do like a bunch of slides and all that other pretty crap and on most of it, but I understand pretty much what I want to talk about for the most part. So today, you can see I put up the Diggable Planets. Back in the day, they had a song called like it's Rebirth of Slick. I'm cool like that, spat like that, down like that, 'cause I'm black like that, right? So I've been over the last, I want to say, day and a half, looking into how this system works. Like, we got to be real with what we're dealing with in all things, right? Where we're dealing with Rome, or we're dealing with having to pay to country or a nation state. And that's just what we do. That's what we have to do. Give unto Caesar what is Caesar's. So, what is the current Rome? Because we think we're free people, we're free-minded people to a point, right? In which we have to conform to whatever consensus there is. And of course, now there's new consensus. There's a new consensus of what we want to consider as an asset class. And this is going to be a hard one. It's a hard transition. Because the old guard, people like what would be my grandfather's age, I'm getting up there in age. I'm Gen Xer. And this generation, my generation, we began to like other things and give value to other things. We already began giving value to digital things. We began to give value to Nintendo games, to PlayStation's games, to Xbox games. So we give value to things because if we're willing to spend for them, when do we spend on them? And what do we take a percentage of our budget and what do we spend on? Now, as mobility becomes an issue, when you can't move as freely as you want, it can cause you to kind of go stir crazy. And you start to second guess everything that you think inside your own head. You begin to question yourself. Am I making the right decisions? What decisions am I making? What's going on in the world? Am I being told the truth? These questions I can't really answer for them. I can't answer them for you. Only thing I can show you is as a business owner, as somebody who's had to work through a digital transition. You know, my cousin Tasha will tell you straight up, I was at Thanksgiving with her back in, I want to say 99 or 98 ish. Might have been 99. And I had seen this transition to begin to learn HTML because in my head it clicked. And I want y'all to understand what clicked for me back then so you can start to see how things may be clicking for you. If you're in the technology, and especially if you're a Gen Xer, not Gen Xer, a millennial or a Gen Zer, whatever your classification, whatever the separation they want to do to you, right? Look, let's deal away with the classes that they want to separate. Like, we are people who have to earn. So as a person that needs to earn, in your analog, when I say analog, the physical world, how easy is it for you to earn there? It's harder and harder. Okay, now in this digital verse, there is cash flow floating. But you have to make a transition to a digital service. So I went to websites. I started designing websites, started developing them. In doing that, I then built a catalog. In building a catalog, I got more clientele that wanted a catalog for themselves for their own earning. Now, the way I did the business model and what the business model was, and I'm telling this to everybody because this is what I'm doing for me and the lessons I've learned working with startups. Most startups fail because they don't eat their own dog food. It means if you're going to try to sell something to somebody else, are you actually using it? It's a concept that most businesses just don't get. Are you using the service you want to sell to somebody else? The easiest way to transition into a self-driving economy is to ask yourself, how do you earn for you? So there's a bunch of traps in the digital space and in this whole digital you can make money fiat space. And I want to quell a couple of them. If they're teaching you and telling you that you have to go to a site, and on that site, it's the only way that you can get this sage wisdom for you to earn all this money. And I'm saying, I'm putting this out there for myself, for my future self, so that I don't get caught up in the trap. So that somebody can just say, hey, bro, you said you weren't going to do this back. Here's the audio with you saying you said you weren't going to say that. And what I want to begin to do is say, okay, how do I earn my own, off my own, not in a future tense of how do I make money off of you as a person? Because if my business makes money where I offer a service and that service is something of value, the way you beat inflation is to offer a service that can scale. No guru's going to tell you that. Nobody's going to hide that away from you. You should be able to get that innately from just studying what's the problem in your life and figuring out your issue, because there's no unified way to do that crap. There's no system to this system other than the system wants efficiencies, and it will find a way to make those efficiencies happen. That's the only thing you're guaranteed in this tech landscape, is that the system will find efficiencies, and us as humans are inefficient. That's just plain fact. But that's where creativity sparks and creates, because it's your creative thought process that can allow you to do a lot of things in life, can allow you to change however you feel about the situation that you're going through. We have to understand that whatever that stress is, whatever we're going to see as a transition, the breaking of the analog, we change and we make our pivots internally, our own internal business pivots. So, what has Toxic Hustle begun to do? We've looked at how trading functions, how trends function, what's going on in the economy as a whole to try to make a business decision and then put it out for everyone to see it. Are we all seeing the same thing? Collective thought. So, part of the entire process of where we're heading towards today's talk, I want to talk about the current fiat system, what actually we consider money. In this digital play, we've got to begin to think about, what do we consider cash flow? For me, cash flow was always a bank account. When I was, excuse me, when I was working with Tasha, not working with Tasha, excuse me, when I was talking with Tasha on that Thanksgiving, and I was telling her about me doing HTML and I'm going to learn this, it was seeing a pivot that I could become my own magazine, right? I could make a magazine. I could put images up. I could put text up. I could put graphics up. I could do something. And then if I wanted to, as a magazine, I could earn advertising revenue, which would be like any physical magazine that you have. The Source, back in the day, Double XL, right? Advertising. But the model for how you had to advertise for me, it just didn't click, because I was like, you have to make all of these, you got to get millions and millions of people. You've got to get this huge server to host all these millions and millions of people. Then you get a small fraction of revenue, these micro payments. And that's not really, you want to control or own the entire advertising process so you can determine and create your own price index. I didn't know how to build any software like that, but that's what you see with Google. That's what you see with Facebook, right? Those companies, or even Amazon now. Like you have, like if you sell products, you're going to now use their advertising to try to promote your products to compete in transaction on Amazon. And I've touched all those markets. I've been an Amazon seller. I've tried to sell knowledge-based products before, not, or even think about selling a knowledge-based product. But for me, and my business partner Ty would talk about it. I would tell him like, yo, I can't sell anything to anybody because I'm still trying to figure this out. And I could never, hey, what's going on, Current? I could never figure out how I was going to make money without me feeling like I have to capitalize on somebody's intelligence. I appreciate the life, fam. For real, for real. Yo, today I'm just going through some stuff with Fiat, man, and what I've seen happening and transitioning with, I guess, what we're going to consider money, right? And also talking about the fact of how I got into even earning digitally. My transition right now, I've been talking about the fact that back in 2000, I went into HTML right before the whole financial collapse, because I saw that HTML is a way to create your own magazine, and potentially I would try to build a magazine on top of an HTML platform. But the one problem that kept hitting my head against was that if I needed to scale up to 1 million people hitting my server, that was going to cost me probably around like $5,000 to get a dedicated server. And then I got to maintain it. And then I got to do the infrastructure, just costs too much money. And that's the biggest problem. That was the reason why I was like, well, I can't I'm not paying like $10,000 to pay for a server, and then I got to still spend a whole bunch of money to advertise just to get people on the shit. Right? So that began my understanding of digital. What is actual digital? Money. How do you get paid? Back then, you could get what's called CPM campaigns. You could put banners on the website, and on that banners, you would earn per 1,000 views of a page. So you just had to get traffic. So that's why you see websites do what they're doing. They just want your eyeballs because you get opportunity to put ads in front of eyeballs. So if you re-look at Facebook, you're going to see Facebook's just a flowing magazine. That's it. Look at it that way. Look at it as just a magazine. It's just flowing that way. So Instagram's a magazine. It's a video magazine. You can put videos there, or you can put static text, right? Pictures. Or you can put on Facebook paragraphs of text or articles, right? If you look at LinkedIn, same thing. You can put out business grade articles to talk to business owners, giving insight to stuff. That can get you jobs as well. If that's what you're looking for, remote jobs, well, then you're going to have to talk remote. Make sure you have a LinkedIn profile. Digital money is how do you get your exit point? What is your exit strategy for cash flow? Is it Venmo, Cash App? Is it Block, which was Square? Right? Is it PayPal? Is it Coinbase? Is it Gemini? Is it FTX? Is it KuCoin? Where is your exit points? What's your entry points? What's your exit points? And then how do you create your capital? Long term. So for me, I'm thinking as a media company. I'm thinking as I make media. I can make graphics in Photoshop as a piece of media. I can animate those graphics and make a video out of it. I can put music to it. I can then put it on YouTube and it can get video streams. Those streams can now get me royalties. So I can take my existing music, which is one of the things I got to work on. Actually, got to put that on there, but I'll do that later. Let me make a note real quick because that actually is a business idea I got to do. What up, Nissan? Yeah, I just came up with one business idea. So you know what? Let's just go ahead and just talk about that because I didn't even hold on. Hold on. I'm gonna put it in here. It's not gonna be in order. Boom, 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 boom. But I'm gonna put it in here anyway. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Let me edit this so I don't forget it. Boom, 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 boom. I'm working in the Discord, and this is just a note, and this is a business idea. And that'll be YouTube royalty hack that I'm gonna work on to get my plays up on my royalty streams. YouTube royalty hack. ALTYHACK. Bow. So what I'm just came up with is I'm gonna. So all right, check this out. I'm on CD Baby. So because I'm on CD Baby, I get my royalty streams, right? So the goal is I'm going to reverse into TikTok the back door rather than try to go through the front door, right? So everybody wants to promote TikTok, and I really don't have time to be on TikTok. I want to be a broadcast agency where I can just broadcast music. And then because I'm trying to get the algorithm to see the music that rolls out, create playlists with that. Also create playlists on Spotify. That's what you also see in here. I'm talking about kind of jumping the gun right here. some of the API data points that our system is going to be working on is going to be getting news feeds. So how I build and get content out to y'all. News data. So what I see out of the news feed, what am I selecting? What are my screenshots? What notes am I getting out of it? How am I making business decisions out of those things? And then what do those business decisions do overall long term? How do we keep notes? So those are like some of the built-in things that we're trying to build into the system as we roll this out. But back to this idea, royalty hack. CD Baby, I get royalties. TikTok, Spotify, and all those others, right? So then instead of trying to be on TikTok and try to crush on TikTok, how do I build more content on YouTube that uses my music? How do I come up with interactive ways to do that? So an idea is like, I'm building a gaming channel. Any one of y'all can do this. So please feel free to use this shit. If it works for you and you want to get your royalties up, please go out here and do this, right? Check this out. What you find an industry that's dope. So let's say YouTube. Right here. And let's just say if I go anime, right? And let's say I find some type of clip that's dope and my music goes to it. Well, you know, you do something to the screen so that, you know, so that you don't get hit with these copyright crazy filters, whatever. Put your music behind that. Have your music playing that. Give copyrights, put the anime information in there. Plug all the data so that the algorithm sees you, but at the same time, you're promoting like clips from the latest episode. And you don't even have to say anything about it. What's up, Rayhan? You don't even have to say nothing on there. You can just have your music playing. Now, the reason why you want your music playing is especially if you create a YouTube channel that's just, you just get a YouTube channel out there. You can just put a YouTube channel out, cast out clips and say shots of da-da-da-da-da. And then maybe even piece a news feed on top of that. So again, this is you, if you want to do extra work, you can put like a news, like somebody's talking about a clip from something now, or you can have a clip from an animator who's talking, one of these people that are talking, and give them a link and a shout out and put a clip of them talking over the stuff, but have your music playing on top of that. Again, that's clean up, that's work. But what you do is you build a catalog of your actual functional music being utilized. Now, again, sometimes it takes you out of what you want to do. It takes you out of, am I just making production? Am I just doing music? Or am I getting out of the, I just make music to do something with it and utilize it? Like, okay, I have a Spotify account because I got an anime custom blender animation idea for my rollout. There you go, Rayhan. Like right now, we've got to come up with our own economies, right? And at the end of the day, your royalties is your economy. So however you're earning on your royalties, so long, and again, y'all, please make sure that you're on an account where every single time you upload your music, you get all of your royalties from paying it one time. You should not have any add-ons to your shit. This is not an add-on game. We're talking about generational wealth, right? So I use CD Baby because I upload one time and I get on everything. Let them get their cut out of it. They're my distro. That's your distro. So you don't need to have a record label. You are the effing label now. You are it. You're the label. So now, how do you promote the content from your label? So if you have instrumentals, how do you utilize your instrumentals? And then you're getting utilization and you're getting your royalties. These people see that and they just care about the numbers. Oh, hey, your data over here, CD Baby. Can you send me some of that data and let me know what are some of your hottest streams going on right now? Okay, give it to Nielsen ratings. Okay, Nielsen ratings. Now that we're tracking all these guys over here on CD Baby and TuneCore, all right, those people we're tracking there, let's get them. Let's get that money from them over there, get the royalties over there from them over there, and that music will circulate in our content, our metaverse content. Hey, let's make an NFT deal with you type beats. What up, RTP? I'm still in development stage of my music, but that shit sounds dope. Right now, so what? Create developmental music and call it background tracks. Call it sound effects for video games. Call it ambiance, techno pop. Come on, man. We just come up with crazy shit. We are the creative force. It's time to get back into creation because they've got us stuck looking for labels that's been shucking and jiving to get eyeballs and ears that we can all get with a freaking TikTok play. As we all say in the clan, let's stop being cute and glamorous. You know, we know what the game is. Like, okay, we just got to get utilization. What did they show us with ET, Pepsi, right? Product placement. Well, we need to praise product. What do we keep saying? I need to get placements, dog. I need to get placements, dog. Well, fucking place it and put it out to stream and earn off your micro streams. You just got to get visibility and eyeballs. Make sure the content that you're looking for is trending. Use Google Trends and find out what the new trend is and make a channel or a network, Toxic Hustle, that you can aggregate content, playlists. Playlists are the new DJs, y'all. Playlist makers are the new DJs. So check what I did. I made a playlist. Look, I'm gonna just show you the play. Look, I'm just gonna be straight gonna with you. Link in the Discord, in the description for the Musical Geniuses Discord. That's the tribe. MG the Future, shout out to you for creating it. But you can see right here underneath my profile, if you click on the side, you see me up there in the server elites. On my profile, if you click view profile, I believe it should have my damn content, but it doesn't seem to be. Oh, I have streaming mode enabled. Hold on, disable streamer mode. I don't care what the hell. Give me that. There we go. Click here, view profile. Boom, Toxic Hustle playlist, right? Go there. Playlist. So now I make a playlist with a bunch of dope shit, right? Toxic Hustle Soulful Pain Volume 1. So I just make a playlist where I'm pumping a bunch of dope stuff. And then if I have tribe or family or friends or whatever, you just put them in the playlist. But you don't have to go all weirdo and try to do SM Zeus and all that other shit. It's just build it up slowly but surely. Create the content. That's all it was. Back in the day, I remember when the Source magazine had like that hip hop list. All the dopest rappers were coming out and you just had that hot list of the top 10 or whatever it was. Well, just start looking and curating that yourself. What I have to do is I got to make all those covers for all this, and you can do that inside Spotify. So I'm going to create all the covers and get all that other stuff done. Then I'm going to list all that on Toxic Hustle, create my own little list and catalog for all the stuff that Toxic Hustle controls as a playlist, and then begin pumping that inside social networks, right? And then you just create a video clip of the music, bumping whatever anime or whatever you want to promote the anime, promote the channel in the network so that they see them links in the description, put the links straight to the anime, put the title and title it up. Make sure all your shit is right. Just don't put the title of the anime in your title of your description of your title, because you just don't want to worry about copyright strikes, especially since Sony owns everything. Just focus it on it being your music to some type of mood, right? Mood music. As long as you stick to mood music, you can have the copyrights in the description. That way you're not making money off their titles. You know, they want to keep their titles, their copyrights. My God, I don't upload until my work. I got you. I need to look up some waifu clips in my shit on Reddit. But sadly, they are just also curators, bro, too. Yep. It's just playlists turned into a Vietnam line mail of their own. Exactly. That's all I do. I've always figured it this way. If I'm going to create something, Like, think of it like Wikipedia. If I made a Wikipedia page, it's a ticking time bomb. It's a landmine, especially if I have keywords in my stuff linking to other things, so that there's points of entry for people to find me. Like, we got to think about this always as a commerce thing, right? And we got to think of this as mariners. Let's not think of it as a digital thing. Let's not think of it in physical plays. Let's just think of it as the seas, as how we had to handle things on the sea, right? Ports of entry, since we're in maritime law anyway. So since we're in maritime law and we're under the law of the ports, let's just act like this has ports type beats to it, right? So what's your entries and your exit port? How do you enter into business, and how do you get the revenue from said business out to be able to make your own commerce out of it? Yeah, I mean, but it's always like ticking time bombs. You have a Twitter page. Your Twitter page has a link pointing back to a page that's a profile page. Like, one of the things I'm building on Toxic Hustle is I'm going to have an artist page, a tragic page, and that tragic page is going to basically be like that that linking shit, that tree link. So I'm just going to build my own private tree link network of producers. So like MG and everybody else. So like, if you look at TreeLink, and I already started building on it. I have the dashboard. Hold on. See, that's why Toxic Hustle's down, because I'm in the boom. Just chill. We're coding. This is a test. So I'm already building. I just got the log out button. I'm just trying to get everything kind of working on the back end and get everything fixed. So my what I can do is, and what I'm working on is, I'm going to have like a link tree. So it'll be like Toxic Hustle /tragic. And under there will be access to playlists that I'm on that are associated to Toxic Hustle playlists that are on the Spotify. So what I'm doing is creating an interlinking network for all of the things that are me across my social sphere. So I'll have my Twitter page and my YouTube page, or the YouTube channels I'm on, or what episodes I'm doing, like Toxic Thoughts is an episode list. And then of course, CryptoPlunder by itself was a complete episode set. Or if I'm doing classrooms I do for free on YouTube, that I have a bunch of them on there for like trading bots and shit, then that shit I have out there. So all of that. Yeah, the website I shut it down completely. We building a brand new back end to the entire site. I'm building an entire back end. What I'm showing you for everything else that we're talking about, I'm talking about the business of everything that's not even dealing with. I'm just giving you some game right now off of how I'm gonna do my how I'm promoting or distributing content to just make royalties as a first strike on how I'm earning through the transition for the recession I'm about to talk about. Because what I wanted to do right now, before we got into some real sad shit about how this economy is and the negative shit, I don't want to start negative. What I wanted to do is kind of start on a positive note and say, well, this is how I'm going to earn some money. It's not going to be a lot of money, but if I can focus on the content side of my game, I can boost my royalties and begin generating revenue outside of cryptocurrency. That here is fiat that gets paid to a bank account or your PayPal account, or they can mail you a check. And then there you go. There's some money right there in your pocket. So I want you to just get money in your pockets. Make sure that if you're going to use TuneCore, use TuneCore, that $29 plan, because that one gets all you can eat on that. But I use CD Baby, automatic all you can eat. So basically every streaming service they got, you get. I'm on TikTok, all of that. And so now what you do is you get your content out, get it, put it attached to the hottest new trending avatar, okay? Think about it this way. You've got to play the avatar game. And that's what this digital space game is. But this avatar game doesn't mean you've got to be in the virtual world. My niggas, you're already in the virtual world. I'm talking to you like I'm a radio freaking DJ, and I'm not. I got a microphone and I'm talking directly to you as if I'm broadcasting from a live location, from my office. No, I'm just chilling in a room talking to you. And all that I can see is revenue small residuals on the front end, those microtransactions that we see in crypto, well, it starts out here. So we're going to have to turn some of those small things, because when I lost my job in 2016, when a startup didn't need a web developer no more, because it was WordPress and they could keep it up by themselves with somebody from India or Fiverr. Oh yeah, I'll just pay somebody $15 to just maintain this crap for me. That's the game we were on. I no longer you need to pay somebody $5,000 a month, right? And then wanting more revenue, right? I'm like, yo, I'm not keeping up with inflation. I'm gonna need a raise. I'm ready to get rid of you, man. I don't really need you. And I even told my girl that year. I told her in Christmas, I was like, yo, babe, I don't think they even need a web developer no more. And the only reason I got into web design because graphic design was out the window, because the cost of how much I wanted to make, I couldn't make 60 grand no more unless I was going to more specialty or specialized graphic. And that's not my thing. I didn't want to create these big set art design sets for 3D scenes. Yes, but the metaverse hasn't reached the WordPress point. You're absolutely right. And that's what we're waiting on. But while we wait, we got to earn, especially when our ability to earn, especially with no mobility, we've got to start using these digitals and start getting these residuals up. It takes time, and that's fine. That gives you time with your analogs as they're there, and begin to get your digital space up. Get your physical ones up. Don't worry about the whole NFT shit. Let them play that game out. They're spending a whole bunch of money in a market that I'm about to show you is not going to be playing nice for them in a minute. In fact, let's just go ahead, and we're going to get back to making money. I'm going to do that. I have it in my plan, but we got to talk about the market. And I want to get into some of the plays I played this week. I did some strategies, and I have them in the Discord cash lane room. Hold on, let me open it up. Here we go. So in the cash lane room, a couple of things I want to show y'all, and I've been talking about this over and over, and I keep repeating myself, and I know it's annoying to some of y'all, but I respect y'all, tribe. I respect y'all, and look, I'm a Gen Xer, y'all are Gen Zers, and whatever classifications they want to give all of us to separate us. I just want y'all to know, y'all are going to destroy this and build it better. I believe in it because y'all are already doing it. The only thing y'all need to do is monetize your asset classes. And y'all have it better than us because we didn't have this. Y'all have direct to consumer. You don't need radio. You are radio. You don't need television or MTV. Look at MTV. They don't even play music videos no more, dog. They don't need you. That's fine. YouTube is your new MTV. Make it so. YouTube is MTV. Hulu is Netflix. And now everybody has to become Netflix. And soon your content will be used across all of these spheres. And I told friends of mine, and y'all, my friends need to step the hell up and start telling people that I've been out here telling the same damn shit. But I said that YouTube and Facebook were going to become the new NBC, ABC. And then sure as shite, here comes the Smiths. And then TikTok, literally in China, TikTok is home shopping network all day long. Now, why do I say this? What does scripture tell us? Be of the world, but not. Be in the world, but not of it, right? You're in it. You're in the world, but don't be of it. Don't be all out in these streets acting, getting Pokemon. Transformized, right? We've just got to be able to think about how do we earn, because the radio raves, we don't use them for but Wi-Fi. And on Wi-Fi, we can broadcast on anything. So long as somebody's playing Spotify, I'm getting royalty streams. I didn't need a radio station at all. I don't even want to be a label to nobody but me as an artist. Toxic Hustle, at the end of the day, I'm looking at it like Jay-Z was, right? Jay-Z did like the smartest hustle, quick flip. And you can do it in every neighborhood, in every single neighborhood that y'all live in. I did it in Macon, Georgia. Macon, Georgia. That was like the killer capital for a while. And in Macon, we made a small little label. We started distributing on MySpace. We started getting a little bit of revenue that was coming in. And then I flipped because the revenue wasn't enough because we can't sell CDs, but we sold a little bit of CDs, physical copies, in the local area because MySpace had something called a zip code. And you can actually search people by zip code. And when they ripped that out, because of privacy concerns, now all of a sudden it destroyed me being able to market in a region without paying for it, i.e., here comes Facebook. And what they're trying to do is separate us from being able to distribute freely. Look, Facebook, you need to pay. And I can tell all of my clients, like, it's not just I'm talking to y'all. Like, I talk to venture capital firms that need to be marketed. And I've been telling them for a season, you're going to have to change how you market because you're trapped into spending a whole bunch of cash to get no results. Your return on investment is going to keep shrinking because the amount of people flooding in to put even, they gamified the entire front end. So you're competing with everybody throwing $5 at it. So the price is like a stock market on the back end on the advertising. So you got to think there's a whole nother stock market for how you spend just to do advertising on these platforms. They tried to kill TikTok and it rose like a phoenix. They can't kill a Chinese operation. They can't kill Chinese servers. TikTok is in where? Hong Kong. So you can turn it off, but then you're going to have to take Apple phones out of Hong Kong. Oh, they don't want to do that. Apple don't want to do that. Oh, no, government, I'm keeping my stuff in there. See that money talk. Yo, this whole game is cap. Yo, they have us selling everything that matters to us, our music, man, selling it to the highest bidder. I worked at a record store, man, and it's called a loss leader. $9.99 for that album that was sitting on the shelf, but the place was spending $10 on it, and I had to hustle to get somebody to buy a piece of gum to just cover the cost of it being in the damn store. That's how they've been treating our music. And look at the shelves. There are no shelves. Dog, it's digital. Blockbuster gone. Blockbuster was the analog, the physical, the hardware. And then we were just waiting for bandwidth, broadband, or having these phones on this 5G network, whatever. The network's there. All right, we're getting irradiated. All right, do you have diffusers in your home? If not, stop complaining. It's here now. If your bodies are messed up because of it, start eating right. Tribes now singing for money on the street because they're kicked out of the forest. So stop playing with us. If you want to play that back to Africa narrative. But I'm a West Indian. Indian. Gotcha. Done. And my family is also back and forth to the Americas. So Northern Indians, stop it. We're in a Netflix world, man. Best, y'all don't. Let me show you this hustle. Let me show you the piracy. I'm gonna show you we live in a pirate world. Let me show you this hustle, y'all. All right. So a covert operations called the Internet Protocol was created by the DARPA or whatever, some government agency within a government agency, blah, 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 whatever, right? College campuses create something the government funds. We know this crap. Out of that creation, out of schools networking amongst themselves, the government networked amongst themselves. And in the 90s, when I was in the Marines, I used a platform called Windows, and we used a network to keep our network across all of the machines to be able to keep our inventory, so we knew how many blankets and how many boots and how many whatever we had. My staff sergeant told me to buy Microsoft at $5 a share when it was on sale on the base. He told me to buy it because we were using it. And told me, stop being a man whore and running out in these streets, shaking your ass for these girls and drinks. And put it into Microsoft, and I didn't. And I was like, all right, I'm not listening to you, old man. Stocks. Who wants stocks? Stocks don't make no money. Yeah. And only people that are going to be using computers are nerds, man. I'm throwing up. Oh, come on now. The only reason I'm nerded the hell out now was because I went from being throwing up gang signs with in the military to looking up coding signs and symbols to figure out how to get code written, because I'm figuring the Source magazine is going to be looking for people to go online and be web developers for them or web designers for them. But then you had to get deeper into development, deeper into servers. I'm like, I want to do art. I want to create music. Now, let's get to this economy, because we're going to get back to this money. I want to get back to this money for real. We're going to get back to it, but we got to deal with the negative side / positive side, but negative side of what we're about to go through. The status quo is about to shift again. Regardless if we want to deal with it, if we don't want to deal with it, look, this economy is about to shake. Right? So look at the bank accounts. Again, I've been posting this out because it's on my mind so much. I look at this chart so much. We are pre-Rona levels in our bank accounts. So when everybody was telling you a Christmas rally was coming, and I was still thinking we were going to $100,000 Bitcoin, I did not have this information, which is why I said in November, I started learning the economy. Because Bitcoin got broken by something. That does not happen. Something had to be wrong, because Bitcoin plays a certain way and she played different. And I'll show you what I mean. Right here in my charts for my old version of the Bitcoin, Seasons of Bitcoin. On the weekly chart, we had the transformer crash, right? So I gave it that. But what I didn't realize is these bumps actually supported the economy or Bitcoin. These pumps actually kept it up. Because after which, every single point where that dip plays and where these come from is the past. Where I'm getting this is all the past. I'm going to show y'all, for some of y'all that have not been here before, we have something in Bitcoin called a halving cycle, which means halving, people mine Bitcoin, they put computers up, and those computers do transactions. They mine transactions. So there's a new mining operation happening. The mining is digital transaction data. Computers need to worry about that, and computers are willing to pay computers to do that data processing for them. So that's what's going on. There's a lottery system up there for them to do processing transactions for a global grid. And that's what Bitcoin is. It's just a global transaction grid. Now, in there, how much you make gets cut in half every X amount of cycles. So the last cycle was back in 20, and I watched what happened. And I jumped in. I was in the craze of it. And I have plenty of videos from, hold on, for some of y'all that don't know. Wait, not there. Where is my I didn't open it up today, did I? No, I didn't. Give me a second. Let me open this up. I didn't open it up today. Right here, the ToxicHustle channel. This right here. So back in 27, right here, back further. Here we go. So back here, 4 years ago was the last halving cycle. And I was starting to call dips the dippening. I was starting to call these dips all the way back here 4 years ago. So when I'm telling you these plays that I'm doing now, it's not coming from a place where I haven't been watching this cyclical event happening over and over again. And that event is this, the Seasons of Bitcoin. I'm making a new version of this on TradingView so that I can have it so that y'all can have a chart that you can follow yourself. But basically what I did was look at these monthly dip cycles that consistently happen. So what you see here is November, there seems to be a significant dip. There's one in January, there's February through March dip, there's an April, there's a September. Right before this, when the halvening happens, you get some weirdo spikes where you're supposed to have a dip in about a certain range. That, like this purple here is November, November, November. This one's up, but it's after a halvening. You sometimes get some weirdo stuff that happens, which signals you're really might be getting this pump. It just seems to happen, right? So boom, it pumps, and then bow. After the halvening cycle, which is what we're going through now, which I'll show you in a minute, it goes down. So this is 2016 it happened, 2017 goes up, after 2017, 2018 it comes down. We're in that January dip, February to March, and then it bumps again when checks start coming in for the taxes, bumps again for some more tax money, and then boom, it crashes back down. And you see there's no more cash, and it fades to about November again. That's September. November's dip, it falls off the cliff because that's a significant dips. January and November have significant dip patterns. Dips again, and then you see the lowest is the next cycle after. So Bitcoin's crash is 2018, March of 2019, boom, January is your low. So anywhere January, December of 2019 is now you have the lowest point. This is your buy-in point before the next cycle starts, and there you go. This is the cycle y'all are experiencing right now. We have 2019 dip, June, our September, our November, December, our January dip didn't happen. Again, weirdo stuff happens right around the halvening cycle. We had our dip here, but then you see the halvening cycle begins. We start getting this run up. Boom, our dip right there. Boom, our dip right there. We didn't really get our dip in November like we're supposed to. It kind of didn't happen. Weirdo stuff happening. Boom, it floods up. That January, we had our dip anyway. Runs up for that June again. Weirdo stuff is happening. So we're getting our dips though. March, April. We still getting our April dip. May. I don't really have a May dip. That's weirdo. Something weird must have happened. June dip. July. We had a run up. I started calling run ups. And I have videos. You can look at the old videos where I was calling these run ups. I have a video that says I called it 5 in a row. Then you had our September dip. I called another run up because the halvening cycle has weird run up cycles that seem to follow themselves. I'll read the chat in a second. I haven't looked in a second, but give me a second. And here, the dip came later than expected here, but we still had our dip. This dip didn't happen. This pump didn't happen. This pump didn't happen, but it kept it stable. We still had a dip in December. That typically happens at the fall off of the halvening cycle. And we're in the January dip. And there's 2 more dip points here. Right? So this is the cycle of Bitcoin. Now I'm going to show you on the new charts that I've been building. And this is in TradingView. Where's my TradingView screen? There it is. Here we go, Bitcoin, and let's go to the weekly and scroll down. So you can see here on my weekly chart on TradingView, I also have the dip points that we're talking about. These are the 2 that are coming up on the 17th and on the 24th. Seem to trend on the charts of where they dipped before and the end of the halving cycle. And here are also significant dip points that tend to trend on the halvening cycle's dip patterns as well as their dip points that can fall during regular seasonal cycles. But just these are the significant ones that happen post, and then after that, there's just these irregular ones that happen throughout the season. It seems to get back on track or back to what it was doing before as far as how the pattern plays out. Atomic bomb fallout post halvening, humans really love cycles. Well, the thing is that this is the pattern that's already been there. So it's not me calling it. It's just how the system plays. And what I've been doing is I've been betting on it. And that's why my trades haven't been so bad. Where here you can see we made, hold on, let me show you this. Because I went ahead and put my money where my mouth was. Load. And my short positions. Yep. Here we go. Yep. There we go. So you can see I'm doing something different here, and I'm explaining in a second. But let me show you what I'm doing. What I did was on the days, you see, I've been sniping down here, and I bought heavy positions in Bitcoin shorts. So I'm on 3 times short the market. I'm holding positions at $1, expecting them to go probably maybe double my position in time. It depends. We're gonna see when Bitcoin actually finally breaks up as to whether or not it's up to a 50% upside or not. On that one, 100% upside on this move, and 126% upside on this move. Oh, I'm going to show you what I'm doing with the shorts. Hold on. I'm also making money as a robot. Yes, man. Got my robots back on. So here you can see I'm using my Bitsgap link in the description. I'm going to have to get rid of the other 2 links because those bots I'm going to deactivate through this this crypto winter. I'm not going to have 15 trades going on or 20 trades. So I'm going to keep this down. I want to kick it down a notch. But link in the description, I showed how I use this trading board. I'm going to actually do a new one because this is updated and they updated the UI. So I'll build out another training course based off of this new UI and the new strategy I do with it. All right. So when you saw the shorts over here, when you say it's a whole lot of shorts, you're right. Where is it? Bang, right here. And then if you go over here, this is a visual representation of what the robot's doing. So you actually get to see the robot in play as to what it's doing so that you understand how the robot actually works, so that it's not, it's demystifying it, right? I like transparency. And I happened to stumble across this before I was doing my video. Sometimes we just happen to be in a weird chapter. Yeah, I think we're at the end of a significant one for now. The Money Go Burr chapter. But you can see here, what the bot's doing is it's queuing up to buy some limits at certain prices, and then it sells at other prices. So it's buying and selling into these gaps. So, and this is pretty much what you're doing is market making. You're becoming a market maker. So you just make the market. And what I do is in the robot, I tell my robot to get me at least 2.98% in the move. Right? And then since it's doing that, and I've been running it for a little bit, now what I'm doing is I've got cash flow, USDT, which is high risk. I don't like using USDT because it might be tied to Chinese real estate. But at this point, I'm willing to take this small risk on it because as a market maker, right now I've done 9 transactions and it's gone up with what I've gotten 47%, 0.47, excuse me. So almost 1%. It's been on for about a day, 0.47%. So hopefully as the days and the transactions go on, we'll get closer to our median price of 2%. And then now I'll 2% on USDT. So I can I'm holding a big position of the shorts because I believe the market's going down. I'll show you why in a minute. Not only because of the halving cycle, but we're on the cusp of everything else. And I put it in the Discord, y'all. So I'll just go into the Discord and I'll show you. Because I lay it all out to why I believe the market is about to do its move to the downside as it does after its halving is played out. So 1, bank accounts are on empty. So pre-pandemic levels, we have no extra money to buy the dip. And people are still buying the dip, but they're buying the dip with those other dips getting ready to happen like I showed you on the chart. Now, what has consumer debt been doing? Consumer debt in the US surges by a record 40 billion. So debt is increasing. So people are buying stuff on debt. So if you're now highly credited out and you have no extra cash flow, you can't keep buying the dip. And then you always have these weirdo things that they suck money out of you. Like in Georgia, everybody's freaking out about snow. 1 day of snow. Everything empty. Are you serious? So that little splurge sale just wiped out extra cash flow that might have been spent in one state to go to anything speculative. I'm putting that out there. Like, think about that. A whole state just went and bought a whole bunch of food worrying about snowstorms. And in any snowstorm state you're thinking about, spread that across all of the United States, and everybody flooding to the store, buying a whole bunch of stuff. They aren't going to have the disposable income to buy a dip. Especially if they have to use credit card, and that's surging. Okay, so bank accounts on E, back to pre-Rona level. Credit card surging means we're going back to a certain level, so I don't have no extra cash. All right? Insiders are still selling stock, y'all. Right? Insiders are still selling off. So now, all right, now let's think rationally. All right? I want us to think rationally. If I'm selling, hold on, where's my charts? Where is my charts? There we go. Let's go to the, I'm going to go to the S&P 500, right? Let's just deal with the S&P as a whole. Right? So let's look at this on the weekly. Now let's look at the top, right? January, okay. December, all right. December 27th. How is that December? That should be January. Wait, are we on the weekly? Hold on. There we go. Now we're right. January. Okay, yep, we are 4 weeks. Gotcha. I should probably go monthly then. That's better. Bow. There we are. So I want to show y'all something. November, your bank accounts were on E. Your bank accounts were on E. In November. I show you that right here. Damn you, Discord. I keep missing where you are. And where did Discord crash on me? Really, Discord? Is that what we gonna do today, Discord? There you go. Damn. Okay, right here. So November 6.9. All right. So if bank accounts in November are low and you took whatever little money you had and pumped up December and pumped up January, when every insider is still selling off their shares. And then I said, in crypto alone, you've got these warning signals, like I was warning that, hey, we're getting ready to, we got negative signs right here. And if the economy is going to work with where interest rates are supposed to be, they're going to have to do something extremely serious, because they need to raise the rates, and they're not going to raise the rates. They're kicking the can down the road. They're waiting for something to happen. They're waiting for something to happen. Like, they're just waiting. Yeah, this is crazy. The entire market right now is hovering and waiting for something, like, but there's no new money. It's real plain. Like, there's no more credit. Oh, speaking of credit, wait up. Let's go. Wait, let's scroll back up here. Because I put it in the Discord. Bo 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 do bo bo do bo 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 do bo 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 do. You know what? You're gonna be. It would be. Ah, is it here? No, that's not it. Give me a second. Inside. Oh, there we go. Insider trading. Boom, 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 boom. 20 You know what? Screw it. I'm going to show you just from the live chart. It's just going to be faster that way. Where's my economic charts? Please. Economic data. Open all my economic data. And bring it over. That'll just be faster. There you go. So, here is the margins. This is how much is on margin. Margin just means credit lines, right? So this is how much credit in the stock market. So this is stock credit is margin. That's a fancy word to say credit. So this is how high margins are. I can't go any further back, but it's pretty bad. But if we look at what the federal economic data shows us, look how long, and this is security brokers and dealers, margin accounts at brokers and dealers. Boom, at asset levels. So this is, these grays are, and I say it, where is it? Does it say there? It doesn't say. Source, millions. Basically, the gray is where there's recession areas, right? Where we had like little mini recessions. So, boom, we had this crash right around 2008, 2007, right? 2010, all that. That crash. In between that zone, look how high it was, and then look how far it went down. Look how high it was in 2001, and then it went down after that. Look how high we are. So we took all of this free money that got printed into existence and slammed up all that debt. Right? Then let's look at the hedge funds. Zoosh. So we go from nothing, flatline, to I guess we're just now going to put it on the books. All right, let's look at regular inflation, right? This is what they have to calm down. They need to calm inflation, right? Right. So they're telling us inflation is 7%. 7%. Okay. Let's see. Boom. U.S. inflation, which peaked at 14% in March of 1980, fell below 3% by 1983. Okay, so how did he do this? This guy right here, Volcker, Paul Volcker. How did Paul Volcker get that happen? How did he make? So how did the Fed chairman at the time handle the problem? How did he handle it to get that done? He sat there and he said U.S. inflation peaked at 14% March of 1980, fell below 3% in 1983. So we're looking at 1980 to 1983. Then the board raised the federal funds rate, which had an average of 11% in 1975 to a peak of 20% by 1981. 1981's before 1983, so that's how they got to 3%. 1981, got you. The prime rate rose to, at some time in there, 21.5% interest. Do you not think I'm going to put my money in a bank account where I can earn 20% interest? That's going to mean I'm not going to put money on stocks. That's what this means. When they raise the interest rate, they are signaling, hey, we want you to take the money out of the market, and here we'll give you a safe, secure, valued interest rate. So if you pull it out of that, the economy, like all of the insiders are selling to do, where do you think they're putting the money? Why are they holding cash? Because they know the interest rate's going up. And what did JP Morgan say? Hold on. What did the guy say? Hold on. Let's go find out. Right? New. Jamie Dimon. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Hey. Says there is a chance to flip 6 to 7 times. Fortune magazine. JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon says there is a chance the Fed could lift interest rates 6 or 7 times. So if they do said thing, all right, so the interest rate they're telling us right now is 7%. This is a website called shadowstats.com. They can give you economic data based off of the old numbers. And based off old numbers, they're saying it was 6.8% or close to 7%, basically rounding it up saying 7%. When we actually, if we use these other 1990 based number, we could be closer to 10%. And then if we use these other numbers, instead of where it is, we'd be closer to 15%. Money GPS, yeah, he'd be knocking out the content. You know, all of these people that we put in the Discord, like these are the ones that are helping us start to understand how this economic shift is happening and why it's kind of happening. And the hopium, we can kind of like regulate hope. Like we need strategic value. This happens and rolls off this way. How do I play it? Okay, I'm going to hold cash, which I did in December. I told y'all I'm getting out of the market, which I did. Rolled out of the market. I forgot what video it was in, but I rolled out of the market and then rolled back in. Where is it? Hold on. I'm going to show you right now. Burn, 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 burn. Your channel. Videos right here. I said, I hate this economy. Then, and that was a month ago. I say in here, I'm out of the markets right here. Yeah. So about a month ago, I said, I'm out. Consumer loans at all commercial banks. Consumer loans at all commercial banks. Loans that have interest. Look at where it was back in 2009. Good Lord, man. And we just... What we're going through, I do automation, right? I work on automation. I work with automation software. Microsoft has automation software. Zapier is automation software. Multiple companies are getting into the space to help businesses scale out without human labor force. And not to mention, you got manufacturing that are getting into robotics. You can see it in the restaurants. How many news articles? Right? Florida restaurant employs robot waiter as staff shortages plague industry 1 day ago. Like what I do, y'all, to keep an eye on things is this. I go into my Google, I search in the last week. And then I can just kind of like look at the week's numbers. Where am I seeing restaurants beginning? Florida. Okay. Florida. Wait, Louisiana. Yep, Florida restaurant, South Florida restaurant, Baton Raton. They're doing a Florida. All right, let's get out of Florida. I think it's just the same one over and over again. Let's do for the last year. Chinese restaurant. 3 days ago, pizza making robot. So plenty news. The news feeds are flowing with how many restaurants are pivoting out of the old service networks. So we've got to understand that this is a thing. Like this is part of what I do. I'm like there's certain things I like that Gary Vaynerchuk says. One of the things I dig is put yourself out of business. It makes perfect sense. So when I looked at being a web designer and web developer, I looked at my availability to do service work and how much I would have to do. How much does it cost? All right, if my bills are X amount of money, I need to generate this much revenue. I'd have to charge this much. Does that match what they expect? How many hours would they expect me to do for that much revenue? Is it beneficial for my labor? Right. Yeah, RTP. Every sector of every, even in the, like, look, banking. Hold on. Watch. Banking sector. Bank teams will expect 20,000. Robot banker is coming. Banker prompts robot analyst. Oh, robot. What is it called? Damn, there's an actual code term for this. There is an actual phrase for this. Robo banking? Robo trade? Robo advisor. There it is. Robo advisor. There's the robo portfolios are coming. So they won't need the whole, so what, whether it's blue collar, white collar, whether it be manufacturing, whether it be construction, right? So you've got robot construction. Benefits of drywall finishing robot. So if this start looking at this also for businesses, right? I'm looking at what's the company? Is the company going to be on the market? Maybe I need to pivot and invest in it when the market shakes itself out. Start putting my targets out. Start looking at who are the companies that are about to pivot into a sector that's going to take labor out of the equation, whether we want to or not. Okay, ask yourself, for every job that's been automated in the last 20 years that you didn't put a stock on, did it change the fact that it automated a job out of existence? I'll wait. No, it don't change damn thing. It's going to roll on whether we like it or not, right? This technology is just going to do what it do. What I'm going to do is look at the sectors that, all right, well, maybe I might want to get into the construction field. Maybe I would like to be able to build homes for folks. Maybe I can give back on the earnings that I make by looking at these industries that might be able to do good, because I can cut the cost down to build and manufacture, hence giving affordable homes. And then in those homes, why don't we do something else? Why don't we turn them into mining facilities? And then maybe the people that are in the building or in the home can get a share of the profit of what's coming out of that house and can help build on top of it. How about they can learn how to maintain hardware, set up hardware, and build their own systems within, and then just pay the electric fee to the grid that's being built into the system of their home. So they just pay for the electricity they're using for their own mining equipment. So you almost become little energy barons. Just an idea. Don't know if it's going to get there, but I'll wait to see if the blockchain tech flows that way. Or maybe this one thought gets it flowing. I don't want to build it. I would love to capitalize. Because I would love to see people have homes that are reasonable. Because the property values are going to keep ballooning out. So then we're going to have to turn these homes into bigger investments. They have to rate the value of their floor value if people are going to keep flooding money over here, or they're going to pull their money out. And when they do, that's fine. We have to have commerce. What do we have? Well, we are the tastemakers. The gross national product of every nation is media. Period. Japan is anime. That anime is so much better than the crap we do at home. So much better. So much more heart and feeling, even though it's kind of abusive how it's created. On the writer itself, how they're beat down and tired, exhausted. We have to find a better way to create and give substantial value. Now, imagine if you could put a crypto to an anime creating company that could give them a cushion to create without destroying themselves, running themselves to the ground. And then you're not going to be wanting to pirate what you're making money on as a business model for everybody has a piece of the business. Now, is this glorious thoughts of fancy? Potentially. But did we believe as the internet is what it is today that it would be what it is? No. If we did you invest? If you believe the internet would be as big as it was in your 80s or 90s, baby, did you invest in everything and hit it a home run every single time? Did you invest in Amazon when it was like $15? Did you invest in Facebook just a few years ago when it was $15? I didn't. I traded some options, won a little bit on that. But I wasn't sure about Facebook or whether or not I want to support the company. I didn't like the fact that it's usurped my MySpace money. And then I was starting to make money with Twitter, and then it usurped basically my Twitter growth. And I already knew, based off of the temperament of me listening to his vocal patterns and listening to his meetings and how he sounds like, blah, 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 blah. I was like, oh, he's systematically just going to be devouring companies. And then I saw his mentor was Bill Gates. And I remember how Bill Gates played. Wait, hold on. Give me a second. Let me slide this over. Here you go. I was asked a question in the chat by RTP. He said, when was Amazon $15? Now, bow. That would be 19. Hold on. We went to 15 in June in 2001, sir. 2001. That's when. $7, September 21st, 2001. $27. Hold on. Hold on. You know what? Let's do this let's do this like we do. Like we should be doing. Hold on. Let's do this. Let's do this the right way. Hold on. Let's add. We have Amazon here, right? I don't have Amazon. I don't have the Zon here. We're going to change that. Let's add Amazon. AMZ. There we go. Wow. Right? Let's pull this up here. Actually, let's drop. Oh, again, bring this up here. Right underneath the Tesla. Yeah, we'll put that there. Let's open this in a new chart. This way you can see what I see. There we go. And let's zoom it down. Let's go to the monthly. Let's zoom it down. And let's zoom it down. And zoom it down. Scroll out. On the monthly chart, I'm going to Alt H. Hold on. That's going to give me a horizontal rule. We're going to put a purple on that. Y'all getting what we do on the thing. Let's see. There we are. Got a monthly right there. No. Right here is another level. Right there. Bow. Right here. Bow. Oh, shit. Wrong one. Really? Oh, come on, man. What just happened? Hold on. This thing just cracked out on me. There we go. Damn you. Zoom. Zoom. Zoom out. Thank you. There we go. 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 Hey, 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 there we go. There and there and there. There. All right. So here's the $18, $14 point. So basically, the pocket for that price point was 2003 was the last window. But then you still had a under $30 window strike at around 2006. You could catch a strike under $100. You know, 2008, 2009. No, you just have to understand who the person is behind the company. Who is the CEO? If I understood who Bill Gates was, and I understood he can't stand losing and he devours other businesses and puts them into his own company, I'm looking for something that looks like an amoeba that devours things like a virus. It's not about foresight, it's who's eating these other smaller companies up fastest. When they start having cash flow, how do they expand? They devour to expand. Who devours more? Then they say that then those companies, they start using the word antitrust when they've gotten too fat and need to be split up. Then those companies become new companies and you get shares of those companies. That's how they work this. That's their hustle for businesses. So it's just what's being devoured, who's being devoured. So if you saw Netflix and you saw Netflix on the stock exchange and you realize that there was a transition happening, it's not about foresight, it's whether or not you see, hey, do I see Blockbusters closing? Hey, do I see more streaming subscriptions happening? They don't really have a great business model, but I can flex a bit and say over the long term, I think more and more people are going to buy into getting more streaming services. How do I know that? Well, how do they stream? They would need to know broadband. So I would be looking to see from the cable companies whether or not people are getting more broadband. Maybe I should buy cable companies. I'll start buying cable companies because Netflix is going to keep growing and more. Amazon's getting in the streaming play. Let me buy more cable companies. Maybe I should buy some telecoms then. That's how my mom worked it. Well, she got lucky. She went right to telecom. That's how I understand it. I understand communication is always money. There will always be money in a thing that gets communication moving backwards and forwards. If you can send something to somebody else and it can communicate a feeling or a vibe or some emotional thing, like I'm thankful to receive money, if you have a way to do that that's kind of frictionless, then that thing will grow. Video games. It was a quarter. You go to a place, you put the quarter in. Well, you made a lot of money if you got into the arcade games. If you did not see Nintendo coming and understand nobody needed you anymore, then you stayed in that business and failed. Look at right now the transition to how many people are at like quarters. Look at the quarter machines and the gum machines. Look at how the gum machines are disappearing. Or they have to go digital. But now those digital gum machines have become the digital vending machines that you have to buy a whole soda now. Now you can't get a piece of gum. You got to get a whole candy pack. Inflation. Instead of 25 cents, now I need to get $2 out of you. Same tech. Bigger-ish. Bigger hustle, I should say. So we've just got to look at the transition through communication. So what's the next communication means? What's the new communication mechanism? Because, you know, social media is out here. TikTok is basically the last of it. It's the last gasp of social media. It's pretty much going to be this. Are you dancing in front of a camera? You shaking your ass? That's the hustle, right? I'm sorry to just make it so seemingly point blank. I'm a Sagittarius, and we're pretty much direct with ish. But unless you're shaking your ass in front of the camera, then you need to be on the other side of this game, which is you need to be taking your content, your music, and getting utility out of it to earn the revenue, because just investing in stocks and thinking they go up forever when nobody has money for that crap, that's hopium. That's hope. Cybersecurity. That's another good play, RTP. But the biggest one right now, you see what they're doing. It's blockchain, because the databases are insecure. The problem that the companies have, and this is, look, here we go. What I learned from a book called Richest Man in Babylon, all right? Richest Man in Babylon taught me one thing, and that is to always look at a problem is on the horizon. What's going to solve that problem, and be on the front side of the change for that problem, okay? Every corporation has a database problem. Microsoft, I'll show you the proof. Microsoft got hacked. Their Azure server, the server side, they offer servers, and you can put a WordPress server up, spin it up, and make your own build your own sites. Now, Microsoft hack, right? News. Boom. They got crypto mining hacks. They're getting their servers slowed down. They're finding a whole bunch of passwords that were stolen from a bunch of Azure accounts. A 4-year-old bug in Azure exposed hundreds of source code repositories. So all the code that the companies, all the code for all this company got leaked on the web. That's your business. That's your core value prop, is the software that you have on the web, and you're hoping that the place that you host it is secure. Well, when you have all these breaches and data breaches, their biggest problem is data security. Now this is just code. What about databases? If I have an application running, that application, if it's working with live data, I would want to make sure that the data that application is receiving is viable, that it's secure. If anybody manipulates it, like they can just go on the server and start fudging around with stuff on the back end, and you can't see that, well, then now your data is insecure. Now you have insecure data. Now things are breaking, because you're not getting the real value out of your system because somebody's manipulating your data. Well, how do you know if you're relying upon this data? How do you know? Bong. It's blockchain. It's that, and blockchain is a fancy freaking word, y'all. So let's just get it together. Blockchain is nothing more than a decentralized or consensus database. Okay, consensus database, which just means a bunch of people validate the database, make sure it's secure. A bunch of machines are validating, and everybody's eyes are validating the database, and all of our data is there. Some of it will be encrypted so that we can secure things like code and algorithms and contracts and legalities that pass back and forth between machines and or companies and or how we get royalties in the future. But also how systems are going to transact, robots are going to ship things back and forth, are going to be on these networks that need to be verified that everything that flows through is right and exact. As for entertainment, I agree with your definition of the blockchain database. Yeah, it's just a database. And even now, think about with our content, right? Our content we put out, and for the most part, we're all in silos. Everybody is their own island, and we all put our ish out. Like you're on your social networks, I'm on my social networks. Now, there's no conglomerated way unless you go to a Wikipedia or someplace or a BeatStars, where you've basically going to some type of aggregation point. That's how these labels have been, right? You've got this one big distributor and all of these smaller labels who are able to make money independently. Then they need to get a bigger show physically to go to all of these events physically. People are taking this debt to be able to do so, hence why artists don't get paid, but a small fraction of shares of 100% of an asset being generated, which is your album. Well, now we're not moving around like that. Venues didn't even want hip hop in the first place. Good. All right, now you don't want us? Well, we don't need you. We just got to reconstruct how we use our own music to earn our little microtransactions, but then do something with those transactions. What does the company do? A label takes your content, your masters, they take that masters and they give it a value. They then get some credit on that value, and then they put that value into an investment trust held by a bank, typically a private bank. I worked for one. And then that private bank then takes that and earns interest on it. And that interest is what you get paid 6 months later as a dividend in your payments for whatever you owe for your royalties. So they're not even paying you the money you made from actual real money. They're giving it from the interest that they're making on the cash flow they're getting off of your ish. And then I don't think you even make money from the interest they make off your stuff. I think that's like some collective fogarty that you only get like a fraction of a percent, and it accumulates, but you have to pay off the full 100% before you'd see any interest in the master interest. Like and playing that game, like that game right there is why I stopped trying to get in rock through pain in the ass. Well, plus, of course, y'all know the story. Okay, I'm getting strong for you, baby, butt naked, pushing up in front of the lady. Like, come on, man. Cocaine's a hell of a drug, bro. But still, we've got to look at now. We don't need those, like, only thing the record labels were doing was getting you radio stations, and y'all got TikTok. That is that's your new MTV, y'all. That's yours. Or I wouldn't say TikTok, because it is still trying to run, and I don't know whether or not you really want their software on your phone. But hey, that's you. But you still got YouTube, you still got Facebook, you still got Instagram, you still got Snapchat. I don't know if Snapchat gives us royalties yet. And then, of course, you still got some of the other terrestrial routes, right? Okay, still YouTube. You still got the Facebook.com that gives royalties. Facebook pays royalties, so I do get royalties from Facebook. SoundCloud, right? They got a royalty payment system, so you can start, like, think about it like that, and just get your exposure. Tie yourself to content. Put yourself out. Tie yourself to other playlists. Put yourself out. Rinse, wash, repeat. Rinse, wash, repeat. Get your royalties coming in, and then figure out how to. The interest is a lie like cake, bro. The interest. I mean, what they say? N words lie, B words lie, numbers don't. I get interest off of my trading robot. Like, whatever the interest as far as like any capitalization, I don't know what other capitalization is going to go when all points lead to frictionless digital. Like, I don't see less digital, I see more. I see us all broadcasting. I see you broadcasting, and people that like listening to your stuff either streaming it in their support, adding it to playlists in their support, or growing with you as an artist through what transitions you do. Like, let's say you go into 3D and you decide to make these 3D animated scenes, and these scenes have your music. And now you put that on YouTube, and because like 1 million people play that, you're earning royalties on all of that. Oh, banks pay interest because the Fed is going to raise the interest rate, and that's going to be the interest they pay for the short term, but that will collapse the market because they're going to pull the money out, and everybody else will be left holding the bag like they did in 2008. And that's the saddest crap because we shouldn't be going through that. But what was that song? These prices way too high. We need to cut it. We do. These prices are extreme right now. So the goal is that they're going to do this potential great reset they want to run in. Right? So USDC, US dollar coin. US dollar coin is on Coinbase. It earns 0.15% right now. I am making a couple plays through what I'm doing through the crypto winter. So right now, I'm playing inside a crypto winter thought process that we're in it. That I don't see that we're going to come out of that. And part of the play for how I, as a company, am going to earn residuals is betting on being a market maker. And I'm going to show you the play we're going to be playing because based off the chart, we know we're going to have some dips. So we're not going to start doing this until most likely February 1st, but we're going to see how it plays. But I'm going to show you. The robot is trading already. It's flowing in and out of trades right now. As we've been talking, the Sumbot profit is $15 and we are up by $10. And it's just trading on the Bitcoin short position because all of our charts. Let me close out this. Let's go back here. This is the Russell 2000, right? Smaller indexes. Now, knowing that we're out of bank, we have no bank. Big bank take little bank, right? Because we have no bank, and we have this cross over here. We basically have a drop, and we're in negative territory on the weekly. So on the weekly chart, let me just roll this up real fast so you can see this. This is the weekly. So we cross negative on the weekly. We have weekly negative divergence, negative divergence, negative divergence still. This is a fast indicator. So this indicator changes pretty fast. And we don't have no upside coming in. This is on the weekly. That's momentum driven. But you can see it can turn at angles. But we have no real heavy turns here. We did get a little bit of a bend to even it out, but it's running parallel. So we're still in a negative downtrend with a wide gap. And then we also have divergence here on the Willy. Is this the Willy? No, the VIX, sorry. The VIX indicator, volatility. So volatility is still negative and diverging, going out in a negative profile on the weekly. So again, strong move to a wider negative side. So we're not seeing less negative on the whole Russell. We're seeing more negative on the Russell. If I go to the monthly on the Russell, I want to show you what it looks like here. Hold on. Let's let me zoom down, zoom down. There we go. Wow. Got that. Just a little. There we are. Wow. All right. So you can see negative, and I'm going to have to zoom in so you can actually see it, but you can see we've crossed right there. And again, this is the monthly. So you can see we've already crossed into the negative on the monthly. This does not move slow. This doesn't move fast. This is a very slow, angular moving thing. So we're already moving into negative territory, and you can see the velocity has been going and waning from positive sentiment down to negative sentiment, and we're crossing into negative into March. Again, not a good sign on this side for the whole Russell index. This is a whole index. I'm trading the whole index, no different than how I chart Bitcoin. No different how I can tell you inside the total market cap of all crypto, we're in negative sentiment territory there. I don't have to tell you. I'm not even looking at news to tell you where we're going. I'm just showing you the charts based off of averages and momentums. Where are we? hey, we've got a little seemingly bounce back. Does it look like maybe we're going to bounce back into it? Let's look on the charts. Is it because we have some positive sentiment? Yeah, we have some positive sentiment on the 12-hour. Let's go to the 4-hour where the robots play. Wait, getting ready to cross over here into the negative again. That's not good. This is early warning system. So let's go down to the 2-hour and see what's going on there. Kind of floating, still kind of skirting like we did a little bit of negative, but it looks like we're going back into negative, but we still got positive on the with the VIX. Let's go down to the 30 just to jump it. Boom, we got negative. So that's where we're heading. We're getting some velocity with that. Is it going to keep confirming itself? Seemingly poking a little bit more there. All right, 30 seconds. All right, we really can't see anything, so we'll stay in the 4-hour and say, seemingly in the future, we may have some convergences that'll keep playing out in the total market cap of crypto. But I can tell you right now, just the way the Bitcoin does play, we still have this next week and the 24th. These are the ones I'm waiting for because they played that. This is what played on the last halving cycle. These two dips were significant. These two right here. So that's why we're going to play these positions. So our halving cycle positions have begun. This is one of the plays we're doing. I told y'all when we were doing the robots in June, why we were doing the robots. And then I said that as the market, the robots were for this portion right here. This is the time that why we were testing the robots out. Why we were getting our Bitsgap robots out running. This is the segment of time we were getting ready for. For times where Bitcoin plays sideways and is boring, this is where the robots make the most amount of cash flow. Right? So yeah, everybody's distracted with news and I'm just not, I don't have time for it. Like my girl will tell you, I'm be in the middle of the night looking at charts. Navigating waters. Finance is water, man. Like it's no different than if we were on ships navigating seas. We could see when a storm was freaking brewing. We just had to keep looking around and try to keep an eye on things. But nobody just keeps an eye to the wind anymore. Nobody keeps a nose to the wind to smell what some is wrong. Things are off. How is the stock market continually going up, but jobs are continually going down and the tents are continually to go up? Do you know there is a video? Go online and look at homeless workers. When I say homeless workers, I mean people who work at jobs, work at restaurants, and they live out of their car. They can't afford an apartment anymore, but they are still in the labor force. They're still working. It's crazy to me. So when I look at that, when I'm looking on the ground and I'm watching the videos and I'm looking at what's going on with how much money they spent in China, the buildings that are falling down. All right, that's fine. Fine. That's why you want to waste money. You waste money. It's not my business. It is, but it isn't. I get tied to the quote unquote debt. And unless I feel like doing some crazy, getting, causing problems to the system, which, give unto Rome what's Rome's. But then how do you survive a shift in your economy? Well, the waters are shifting digital. Computers are generating transactions. Like it or not. One of those, I'm going to show you one of the miners that we're doing now. We have our Explorer. Bow, 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 bow. Transparency. Let's see, overview. Boom, here you go. So far, our miner has done $27.58. No payments. Where is the rewards? Boom, 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 boom. There we go. So you can see this reward 9 hours ago, this reward 8 hours ago, this reward I wish they would do it in cash like they do on the app, but you get it. Over the last 24 hours, about 64 cents. 7 days, about $6.83. 14 days, $11.36. And 30 days, we've made $26.96. This is principalities of the air. Assets in the air, Wi-Fi mining. Keeping it real simple. Digital transactions, digital residuals. How do I take my residuals, earn more residuals? Now, one of the plays that I figured out today that I'm going to do, and I'll share with y'all, I got no problem. USDC, I talked about it inside the Discord, and it's also part of my talk today. USDC, according to their website, is pretty much saying they're pegged to $1. Now, we know the dollar has inflation, but if you're investing in things, you have to invest in cash. And if you need to buy things in cash to be able to get in your investments, then you're going to be pegged to the dollar. You just got to make sure your assets beat inflation. So since inflation is like 15%, give or take, so we're just going to have to be able to think about in the next couple of years, we're going to hope our assets will beat inflation over long term over dollars. And that's kind of what you're hedging against. That's all any asset class is supposed to do. Gold is supposed to do it. Silver is supposed to do it. Platinum, palladium, copper, whatever. It's supposed to hedge against loss or be able to be a monetary way to transact business so you can buy the materials you need. What app is what, Rehan? So let me show you this. This robot right now, what I'm going to do is USDC, which is US dollar coin, is running, it's pegged to $1 every US dollar. So here's my hustle. You see what I'm pointing at right now? I typed it into the right-hand side and I put USDC here. And you see what it tells you. 2.87%. So how I do my robots is around 2.98%. So it's already telling me it falls into my window of profitability. So I will keep my profitability at that scale. And that means I should be earning USDC, holding BTC at 2%. Now, the mining one you mentioned. Oh, the helium miner? Yeah. I'll show you real fast. It's called Bobcat. Bobcat miner. It's bobcatminer.com. So just put Bobcat man, my West Indian comes up. Bobcat. Put the Bobcat miner inside Google. First result. Boom. And in there, it will tell you if you want to order now, it will give you a price of what it is. You pick your model, what region you're in. Let's say I'm in the US. And then we wait. Wait. Oh, there it is. $4.29. So that's the price. And then it takes like 6 months or so. Hold on. Hit refresh because it's acting stupid. There we go. Oh, here we go. Oh, this website. Okay, I gotcha. I got to accept cookies. All right. So then here it is. Then, yeah. So $4.29. It takes like 6 months to get. So here it is. Estimated shipping time is 20 to 28 weeks. So it takes a long time to get there. Right? So it takes but that miner is already generating its money. So it's already made me $20 of the 400 and change I paid for it. So, and I'm looking at this for a 2024 play. So everything that I'm mining now, I'm not looking to sell to 2024. Why am I waiting to 2024? That's the next halving cycle. So Bitcoin's next halving cycle starts in 2024. So I'll be selling 2020, whatever I'm mining now, I'll be selling between 2025, 2026 at the peak of the next cycle run up. Just like it played out now, like the cycle's over. It's now beginning to fall with all these little drops with no extra cash. It's going to play out the way it typically plays out. I'm just trying to figure out how far it falls. Now, what I'm doing now, there's a new type of mining. Now, this is in my head. This is how I'm mining. This is a mine for me in my head during a recessional time. What I'm doing is I'm putting money pegged. But I'm focusing in the future, this USDC. I'm not going to buy Bitcoin now. I will buy Bitcoin when it dips. So when this thing gets down, right now it's already in. Let me find my old Bitcoin chart. I want to show you how I was playing it before. Hold on. Let me get out of my shorts. Let me save my short chart. Get out of the short. Let me load up my Seasons of Bitcoin, my old one. Bow, bow, bow. Bow, bow, bow. All right. So here we go. When I bought was around here. So my price was in this zone when I was telling you I was buying the dip around June-ish time frame, right? So right around here. Yeah, June. Right around here, I was saying I'm buying the dip, and I was doing videos about buying the dip. And then what I did was I said, in this price, it's a good strike zone, period. Like for the run up, this is fine by me. So guess what? When these things trigger and it gets back into that zone, what I'm going to do is pop one. I'm going to pop X amount of cash flow, which I don't know what it's going to be yet, on Bitcoin. I'm going to buy a position to hold it with USDC and earn that 2%. That's going to be my strategy. Is that and then what I'll do is that's just becoming a market maker. So as a market maker, I'll be earning my 2%, trading BTC, holding the risk of BTC, and then just earning the 2% by trading back and forth and being liquidity for USDC. So I'll be earning all of this in this percentage of 2%. So I'm focusing on getting 2% of this right here. So now I need to figure out how much I want to put on this channel to do that trade and run that bot that way. And then I'm going to go to multiple exchanges and begin doing the same thing. So I'll do this on Coinbase. I'll do this on KuCoin. I'll do this on another exchange. The same thing, BTC, USDC pair. And now all risk of me holding BTC is offset by me wanting 2% of USDC through, I don't care about the price of Bitcoin at this point. I just want to keep earning more of the US pegged dollar coin throughout this market, because this buys whatever crypto I want. So I want as much crypto throughout this winter, this crypto winter. I want to gather up as much as I can get right now as the prices begin to drop. Keep gathering as much as I can while I wait. So what this robot is doing is making my buy and sell points and just earning me profitability while I wait. And that's the long game. I'm not doing hopium. I can't do hopium by market making mainly. Yeah. Because that's what banks are supposed to do. They're not supposed to be hedging. They're not supposed to be trying to be greedy. They're not supposed to be taking all this risk. A bank is supposed to either buy assets, hold long-term to receive residuals from dividends from the company's shares and stakes in said company, or they can be, if you're doing like the Forex, a part of the liquidity in transacting capital. That's the Forex market, right? So you do gold, platinum, palladium, you can trade commerce and currencies, right? So this is just the currency transaction. So I will make the 2% just being liquidity. I'll hold the asset and be the risk taker in holding an asset called Bitcoin. I'll take that risk all day. I'll dollar cost average in meantime between time while the hopium plays out and everybody's, oh, Bitcoin's not doing anything. It is for me. At 2%, I'm still trading. Yeah. At this point, my goal is how do I, like, and you can see what I'm doing, right? Now, what can I do? I can take my royalties, my revenue that comes in from earning from music, tell the government, hey, government, I know you're interested, but I'm going to take the revenue from my royalties that I made and I'm pushing them into the company, and the company's doing dun, 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 and then I'm going to earn from the company during dun, 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 dun. And then I'm just investing inside this company. And only until I get paid out personally from said company can you really tax me on anything, because I basically gave shares and now this company will handle its own tax problems. Now what I can do with said company is I can put assets on the books no different than MicroStrategy. Sorry, it's loud. The Ray Dalio book is a required reading. I haven't even read it yet, fam. I'm not even gonna front. I haven't read the Ray Dalio book. This is just me on YouTube hours a day, listening to YouTube at 1.5 or 1.7 speed. I'll show you that right now. Like, boom. I'll come here, go to YouTube. Let's say this is interesting for me to listen to Crypto Chico. I go to Crypto Chico. Let me put this on pause. Then I go over here to the gear, hit the gear. You see the playback speed? I listen to it at 1.75 for the most part. And that's if I need to digest a bunch of content fast and not working with y'all, like, or going through a chat in Discord where just I'm helping people see what I'm seeing. Right? So the goal is long term, how do I hold a pegged asset and how do I earn on my pegged asset without it just being on Coinbase? This gives me my leverage because I can use a bunch of different exchanges from one place and I get 20 trades. So even if I had 20 exchanges all pegging to BTC, USDC, I could be the liquidity on all of them, earning whatever that is on my own, not worrying about DeFi. Again, just being a market maker, that's just market making. And I like it to be simple. So that's why I choose the simple path to cash as much as possible. If the business model's right. I have the audiobook. I haven't listened to it yet, but I'm going to spend some time on it throughout the week. But this economy right now is teetering. It's teetering on an edge financially. If we're looking at the Russell, we're already crossing. And then let's look at the S&P. This is the one I'm betting against with my shorts. So as I was telling y'all in the Discord, I'm running a very risky research play. And I'm not calling a trade. It's actually a research play. And that's this research play right here with this SQQ transaction I'm doing here, which the SQQ is the inverse ETF play here. And this freaked me the hell out. I'm not going to even lie to y'all, because you're not supposed to play it the way I'm playing it. But I guess I played okay, but I'm still learning. For a second, my account had negative like 3,000. Because I didn't understand what was happening. My shares was at $6, then it went to $33, and then I heard and then the trade actually had gone up, but I did make 2% on that day. But then something got locked out. I don't know. It's really supposed to be a day trader's trade. Like if you understand that the market's supposed to go down in a day, you can write it down on the short term. I'm like, yo, on the long term on the S&P, which let me go over to that right quick. And this is what I'm not betting it on myself. I'm not trying to bet against the Fed. I'm just understanding that there's no more cash flow and checks coming, right? So what's kept the market up is checks. And checks bump the market up. How do we know? The bank account numbers that the Fed Reserve showed us prove us positive that those checks went into our bank accounts and spiked them. Here it is right here. Here it is right here. These are right when the checks came. That's the bump. And now the bank accounts are back to empty. So now there's no more money. If you look at the daily, you see we're in negative territory here, negative territory here, negative territory here. This is the S&P 500. Same way I showed y'all where I'm charting on Bitcoin is the same way I'm looking at the S&P as an index. Now, where are we? When you break these lines, things happen. This is the 25-day moving average. You break it, you break. Then you had the 50 that it broke through, so you're down here now, right? Now, if we look, there's the 100-day moving average. Now, I want to show you what it does and how it plays when robots play. Bow, let's go here. I'm going to the 4-hour. So just so you can see, it plays a few times a certain way. When you cross the 25, break to the downside. Break to the downside on the 50. Break to the, went up, broke down hard, went up, broke to the downside again, broke to the downside when it hit to the 100. That's just what it do. Doesn't matter how we feel about it. That's just what it do. Then when this happened, you see right here, I'm right here down here. You see where my arrow is right there. Cross negative, cross negative, cross negative. When these things happen, bad things happen. Big spike, big drop. These have correlations. It's just a visible way for you to kind of see the patterns inside the market. And this is on the 4-hour. Now, when you break it down to 30-second, wait, let me zoom out. Where is it? Wait. Zip down. Down. There we go. Now we've got to zoom in to these micro levels. And there. Now, when you go like to the 30-second high frequency trading, you can see the market plays. This is what I've been doing, like studying. So when it broke to the upside, this crosses that happened here. When it broke like the 100-day moving average and bow, it just keeps falling through all these things. Like when they break through averages, they fall. When the averages support themselves from the green and that green line is above, when the green line's above, you're in a bull trend. When that red line is above, you're in a bear market or a bear trend. And this, we're on the 30-second. So this is just you being able to see the micro helps you to see how it plays in the macro. So if we go back to the 4-hour chart and then we zip down, you can see those lines still are there. And then as you get to up here, what do you see? The things you saw before are starting to play out at the 4-hour level. 25 rejected, 50 rejected, 100 rejected. Look who's creeping on the come up over there. Then we do have our purple lines. And when you breach a purple line, which is monthly support / resistance, that typically goes to the downside strong. So now you're looking at potentially more downside. This is why I'm playing my play. Because the micro, small side, as I start scaling out, you can start seeing 25 broke through right there. Okay. We get to the 12-hour, 25 broke. Oh, 50 broke. Okay. There's a 100 right there. Big, strong line can break to the downside. Where are you? Come on. There we go. You can see it's almost about the same. But now you can see 25-day moving average broke, 50 broke, and now you're looking for this purple, no cash in our pockets with a 100-day moving average creeping up on us. And this is all on the, again, no crypto involved. This is S&P 500. I'm just mapping the S&P saying, hey, we seem to be on the top of a downsloping trend on a daily average that seems to be breaking. But wait, we got to keep looking, right? The macro hasn't really shown us everything. Let's look at the weekly chart. Okay, we look at the weekly. Hey, we're bouncing on that green, but we've been fighting for a while, right? November was the high, but we're now higher highs, but we're starting to break. Again, no cash in the pocket. Insiders are selling. And on here, right here on the Willy, I believe that is. Yep, the Willy. Pause. Boom, we're having negative sentiment strength. We've crossed negative already. Again, this is the weekly, so that's it makes short moves, but you can see we're already weighted to go to the downside on the micro level. All of this is going negative. So we're going to keep, this is going to follow that trend over time if the pattern holds over time. So here's your weakness already showing up early. It shows up on this chart early. And then if you look up here, what is happening here? Negative, we skimmed, negative, negative, we dropped, skimming negative. You see those skims, but look, peak right there. Spreading out for negative, 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 and getting ready to cross negative in the index. That means S&P might be primed for a fall. Now, here's a play that seems to be playing out in my head, and I got to see if this plays out in time, which is, since Seasons of Bitcoin shows us starting tomorrow, Sunday, is our new week. So this week of the 17th is Monday. It's Monday is the new, it says Monday, but we trade on Sunday. So really, Sunday is the new week. But they want to call it Monday. Well, whatever. So really, tomorrow, this will be our new day. And on this daily, you see we're negative, negative, negative already on the daily. We're skimming some positive now, but we still got negative VIX, so you can't trust that. And if you look at the monthly, we're crossing negative here, already negative. This is early warning sign, and we're crossing negative. So by the time these dips happen, this will fulfill itself out. And look at the strength. It's fading. So strength up. It tried. It failed. Signal. So again, with Bitcoin going down, you see my Bitcoin short play. We bought a while ago on our Bitcoin shorts. And we're expecting our short play we bought at 99 cents, $1 price point. We're at 151. But we also bought some more for our robot to play here. Will be the liquidity for this. Hold it. And while we're holding, earn interest. We're hoping at 2% to get 2% USDT, to roll that USDT interest that we earn here into USDC as a play, BTC. So buy more, convert USDT that we earn, so that we're not just holding this risky asset, convert it into USDC, and as Bitcoin makes its drops, buy Bitcoin to trade in exchanges. So buy blocks of Bitcoin, not to speculate on its price long term, because we don't believe Bitcoin will go back up, really do a run up till 2023. If it plays like the last halving cycle, it'll fall in November of this year, all the way to, and keep steady through January and March of next year. So Bitcoin long term, we're going to be looking at playing the BTC USDC play, earn the 2%, since that'll give us better interest than we'll get at Coinbase. And then on Coinbase, with this one robot, we're going to run another USDC BTC play. And this is after the drop that we kind of see playing out. So we're not going to buy right now. We're going to wait to see if these two dips come. Where is it? Hold on. On our main chart right here. These dips right here is what I'm looking for. So February 1st. Oh, wait. Weekly. There we go. There we are. All right. So the 17th, January 24th. Those two right there, to February, the first week of February. Why am I doing it on the week? Because I'm following the last halving cycle that happened here, the crash that followed after that in 2018. And if we zoom in so that we can look at this, you'll see it fell from December, bounced in January, and continued to, again, fall all the way to, like, it bounced up around February. See, so there it goes. Falls January. We're on the weekly. Falls January, bottoms out the first week of February, and then begins to rise as those tax checks came in, got put back into the market, only to sell back off, so that when the next set of tax checks came in, it bumped it up. May, then April, it dropped down. By then, it didn't even matter. It was in free fall. Right? So if it plays out the same exact way it did, this is November. I can tell already. It dropped in November, and there's where I said it will play out. So if we so if you think that this is this year, if we say I might have a model that this is going to play out after the halvening cycle, if it plays exactly the way it plays like it did before, and it kind of played the same way in the halvening cycle prior, but it didn't have as much revenue to see the lines of the dip. It didn't have enough cash flow for us to see these major drops. So now we're able to see these things. I'm looking at for it to play exactly the same way. Just because, again, and this one is my new one. I haven't put these up yet. So I'll show you on my old seasons of Bitcoin what I'm talking about here. Last halvening cycle was here. Before this one, 2016, rise up, crash down in January, crash down in February, June, August, September. Here's November. It drops down. Then there's just keeps, it's this cold. This is winter right here. All the way to the halvening cycle. Then it starts spiking. That's this halvening cycle we're just finishing off. And then the reason why I started calling the dips is because the colors, as you can see, are playing the same way it's been playing. There, September, November, December, right after the halvening cycle. Sometimes that's a major drop point. And here's our January. Boom. January there, little reprieve, 2 major dips. If it plays out, it plays out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But where is the cash coming from to speculate on more crypto? It might come from a country or whatever, but fear is greater than hope. When you're already on the downside of a trade. And let's not forget, y'all, some of these people playing in this market and all this crypto stuff over here, they're leveraged to the gills over here. They're over here. This is where they really make money. They're really making money here. They're really making money on the S&P 500 indexes and trading stocks in and out of stocks and leveraging to the gills on all of this stuff here. They do this. This Bitcoin thing, that's only a small position of their portfolio right now. And this is giving up its last gasp as well. All risk-on assets are going to value assets, but none of that matters when people have to pay the margin fees for their option trades, their bets against or for whatever's going on with the market. And when those margins get called, it will have a ripple effect. And right now, there's no more money getting printed by nobody to go in nobody's bank account to buy no more stocks. And insiders, are still selling. Boom, 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 boom. Go to news. Give me my news for today, recent in the past 24 hours. Boom. Farmland partners, shareholders. Insiders sold 6.5 worth of stock, possibly signaling a downtrend. I put that out already. Pacific Biosciences insiders sold some. That's 10 hours ago. AutoNation Inc. insiders sold 78 million worth of stock, impending weakness. Insiders sold shares of the past year, not positive omen for investors. Independent chairman board, AB Olson just bought a few more shares. Okay, somebody bought. Wow, all right. Picked up some more shares. House Systems, whatever that is. House Systems insider transaction, so some other system, all right. Don't ignore the fact that Insider just sold some shares in SS Infrastructure Development Consultants. Wow, that's a whole mouthful. Boom, boom, boom. Do. Market edition. Yeah, after purchasing. Some people are purchasing. Here we go. Nell sells 100,000 shares of B Gold Corp. Yeah, so people are selling off. The insiders are selling. So, okay, if they're selling up here, do you think they're going to buy back right here in anything that we like or are trading or we're holding the bags for? No, they're buying options down here like Elon is. They're waiting for drop downs. So who's going to buy this up if the insiders are selling up in this zone? This is their sell-off zone. So if in all of this zone, Elon and everybody, all the way back in November, all this is when Elon's been like, yo, we're selling. All of us insiders are selling out. Wow. So if they're all selling up here, they're not going to buy anything up here, y'all. Let me show you how it works. This is the next bounce point if they were even thinking to buy in. But they would only take a portion of their profits here and buy some here. The next bounce point's down here. It's got a little bit of history, so they might wait for it to get down here and snitzel a little about here. If not, for sure, we've got a serious support system right here. This system might hold everything together, so you might have this big strike points down here as your safe hidden for drop. If it doesn't drop in like all this, because it's freaky when you look at how this ran up in less than a year. 2020, flip. Like, that's crazy. Like, that's ridiculous. Look, like the history. And flip. Oh, and by the way, if you're wondering why I'm doing what I'm doing over here, I'm noticing some patterns over here that I want to see whether or not they play out. So I'm just kind of like looking to see if there's a season of investments happening. Because they're like the market keeps talking about Octobers and Septembers are bad times. I'm like, wait, we got omens up in this? February, March dips. Like, it's just weird. Anyway, so like I say, we've got some weak points coming up. Let me just look at my notes. Crypto winter, I told you the Bitsgap strategy. All right, so I can tell you some of the revenue that we're working on. I told you all the negatives. The market's going to go down. We're going to buy when the market goes down. We're shorting the S&P, but I told you we're going to talk about making money. So how we're looking at is royalties. How do we gain more royalties? We're using CD Baby to earn our royalties. We pay a $29 fee. It gets all the royalties for all the accounts. We found out in one of the streams that we're able to get, if you use TuneCore and you decide you want to use TuneCore, the 29 package seems to be their all-you-can-eat package. So if you're already using TuneCore, I would suggest that you do the 29 package so you can get all of the streaming services locked in. Right? I use CD Baby. All of my packages are locked in, and I find money from new places in there. So, so part of it are in. So what we're going to start doing is internal data collection. We're working with a system to be able to start aggregating our data via APIs and scraping. And also our robots beginning to collect our royalty data, and we're going to start storing our internal data. So the goal is what songs are doing well, how do we price action that, how do we find out what songs we should be marketing, or how do we know we marketed a song and then we see a bump in plays. So I need to have that data correlated internally, and I'm using myself Tragic, how you doing, as a way to do that. My music, you can find out, is available here. You can go to ToxicHustle playlist, click there, or just go to Spotify and look up Tragic. I'm right there. So anyway, I'm going to use myself and start collecting my data, internal data collection, and then how do I use it? How do I create dashboards? How do I utilize that data to be able to create marketing, or how do I automate my social media or create content based off of the data of where my money's coming in from? So what I'm looking at is, and I did this when I was working in Second Life, right? I found software that was helping me to collect my sales data for all of my digital merchandise. So since I did that in Second Life, I was like, I wonder if I should start doing that for myself. So guess what I'm doing? I'm building the software to do that for myself. So it's basically gathering my data from CD Baby, through these automated scripts that I'll do. Maybe like you download your CSV file, you upload it to the system, and then that system stores all of your sale data for you. So basically you just download a monthly update, updates the system, you download it once a month, and then boom, it uploads all of your transaction data and you can see what your sales look like on all your transactions. Then you can actually look at what people are listening to, like what songs are actually earning you good revenue, what areas or distribution agencies are gaining you the most amount of money. So like, is Spotify generating you the most amount of money, and what song is doing that? And that might be the one you want to push to YouTube, right? If it's already getting traction on Spotify and you're getting a monthly trend on that, well, maybe you can pump it the next month, right? So that's kind of what I'm doing. So I'm going to use myself as the research specimen and begin proving that it earns me more royalties. And then you'll be able to see that. So again, transparent. Again, that allows us to use API data that's coming soon. So the news feeds that we're building for ToxicHustle, how we build our news, how we use those news and clips, the screenshots we do in the Discord, the articles we'll start building for how we're building assets or what our investments are going to be, and how much we're buying into certain asset classes based off of whether or not we're going to do. We might do NFTs, but again, the music side of NFTs. How are we licensing our music? What NFTs want to license my music? That type beat. So not the hopium side of NFTs, like I'm going to sell NFTs. No, I'm going to license you my music. You're going to be able to use it in your NFTs, but I'm going to get a percentage of sale based off of the NFTs being transacted, and that's it. And I would like it to be in, if you're going to do it in your, whatever that, if it's in Ethereum, then I want it in Ethereum. And then I can take that Ethereum and I can put that into whatever I want it to be put into. Again, beginning the create my own revenue and economy type beats. So Spotify is revenue stream. So we'll be collecting API data because we make money here. YouTube is revenue stream. So we're going to do that. And then Twitter is not revenue stream, but Twitter does have a Bitcoin Lightning Network. So that does have, that's revenue, and that's Bitcoin. So if we're talking about, and Twitter wants to use robots. So if you're talking, I can automatically turn Twitter into some kind of broadcasting mechanism for myself, I'm going to start using that data. So, all right, RTP, I'm glad you dig it. So yeah, so then I'm going to take that data and put it into this system too. And I'm going to show you what system I'm using and I'm like how I'm building it out. Then from there, social broadcast testing. All right. So this is using APIs again, instead of grabbing data, using the reverse of those APIs and sending data. So can I send data to Twitter? Can I send data to YouTube? Like upload videos or upload shorts or upload graphics for announcing a video is getting ready to come and what the topics of that video are. Spotify, being able to go into Spotify and gather my playlist and post it to the site, so then I can then use those links from those being created on the site to be able to broadcast that into like Facebook groups and announce music and playlists that I can now attach my music and y'all's music to. Right? How do I help y'all get more royalties played? The reason why I keep telling y'all use CD Baby or TuneCore is that I can then say, hey, go to this website, insert your Spotify account, and then we can start tracking your plays. And then if you give, like in the future, we can create something where you can upload your sales data, and now we can sit and figure out how we can actually help you gain more revenue, baseline, right? So this is a fiat system. We've got to then build out our own rails. So we got to think of this way. There's no digital rails for us to really do this. So I'm beginning to build that because I need it for my damn self. So if I then franchise it for myself, so I become my own client, eat your own dog food. I became my own client. I then become my top client. That's what Jay did. Rock Nation, he became his own client. Who's better to get money for the company but me? And I'm doing it for my own, with my own music, not saying, hey, y'all, here's a course for you to buy my course. I'm going to show you how to make money with my course. No, I didn't believe the teachers when I was in school. I was like, yo, how are you going to show me how to make money in economics, but you're a teacher? Your economics are off because you keep screaming that teachers are broke. So you can't be a great economics teacher if you don't know how to, the economy of money and how to make it. How can you help me? Like those big colleges that we're talking about, like those big companies telling me, I'm going to get you a job in the music industry, and the teacher's teaching you about, I'm going to show you how to get money in the music industry, and he don't make no money in the music industry. Like, how can you tell me anything? You can't help me. You ain't making no money, homie. So how is this teacher going to teach me, but he broker than me? And so brokers that trade, you give your money to brokers. These brokers are broker than you. So eat your own dog food. Figure out how to make your own money. Then if you can figure out how to make it for yourself, and then you can figure out how to make it for at least 2 to 3 more people, well, now you can probably maybe scale it out a bit. I'm thinking of 100 to 1,000. So how do I scale this up to have maybe 100 to 1,000 people that I can help? I can't help the world. I can help 100 or to 1,000. Now, if I do that, now I can broadcast me socially. Is there a way for us to do this in a safe way so that we can broadcast you and manage your projects? And then maybe we do it as a data business and prove it. Prove it, not no hopium crap. Like, I want to make money with my music. I'll show you I'm making money with my music. Then I'll put it behind the scenes with robots, and I'll earn interest from my revenue from my robots. Boom. Now I'm acting like a label, and I'm by myself. So then everybody's a freaking label. And then what we really need is management of our catalog. Gotcha. All the other bullshit aside, right? But I don't need to manage your catalog, and I shouldn't be earning a shitload of that money for that. So 20% finder's fee for that shit that these managers be doing, that shit's a wrap too. Because you're not going to find venues unless you're going to find digital venues, and then you should make 20% if you're getting digital shows. But you better be getting like some Travis Scott type money, like 12 million for a digital show type beats. And please understand, like, they're showing us 12 million, 10 million for these shows for people being online. That's no different when the Hype-nitis, when I became a producer back in the early 90s, and all the producers were making like $10,000, $25,000 a freaking beat. And now look at the price for a beat. So don't get gas that you're going to get the high price value on that ish. Even if I create a subscription system, y'all, it's going to be $4.99 because I know nobody's going to have real disposable cash. So it'll be $4.99 a month. And let's just go ahead and pop that out, right? And that'll be that. Or maybe it's $19 if I'm offering a business type service. And this is the second phase of the rollout. That maybe there might be some business service, but again, it has to make money. It has to make sense. And if it doesn't make money for y'all, then it shit don't make sense to me. So first I got to prove it with me. So data as a business, external rollout, maybe. If so, we'll have some ToxicHustle business plans that'll come out by the summer. No merch in 2022. I don't believe anybody has disposable income to buy a t-shirt or a cup. I think you need to save that for food and potentially being able to buy the dip if the market comes down a bit into profitability, but after a loss. Like, it's profitable because it bounced from a bottom, and it makes because, they raised interest rates and it shook out everything and assets went back to a normal price valuations. So my focus for 2022 is really just focusing on the content, free content. What I'm doing right now, being able to, I don't have time to create no courses for y'all. Get on YouTube, start watching videos. I showed you how I'm doing it. If I would be careful in investing at these tops because there's no more money for a bump back up. At this point, all of us need to be creating an economy. What's your product? What's your service? How I survived in 2007, 2006 was using MySpace to sell MySpace layouts at $50 a pop. Then I only had to have one statement. How much do I need to live off of to eat and pay the rent? And to maybe have, a little drinky drink. Or any extracurricular activity I may want to have, right? How do I do that? And then how much money do I need that monthly to do that? Then if I go to MySpace, how many clients would it then take me if I divide how many clients, or like how much clients would I need to then have just to be able to say, I need $2,000 a month. All right, well, I need this many clients. So take 2,000 divided by whatever the number is going to be to see how much, or take the number you need and divide it by the months. And that's telling you per month what you need. So if you need $60,000 a year, you need $5,000 a month. And if you have $5,000 a month, then how much are you spending on, how much is your client paying you, is going to determine how many clients you're going to have. So if you do a higher number, so let's say $1,000, you only need 5 clients. But then you're going to have big projects and there's no way you're going to get them done in a week. So that don't make no sense. See, now the numbers don't add up for service-based work like that unless you're scaling out. So now you've got to look at bigger projects or other things to do. This is why this digital game don't flip big cash flow. It flips very micro transactions. And that's the game. Everybody talks the big gaff about, hey, you can make all this motherfucking money out on these streets. And that's not the truth. You can make some money out on these streets. Residuals are residuals. And if you were already making only 3 cents playing on a radio station, let's not get beat. It's not like you were already making a shitload of money with the music anyway. 3 cents for radio stream, for mechanicals, right? But you're not mechanically being pressed to anything, so you've already lost mechanicals. So where are you actually getting revenue? Well, only really from streams. So now you're talking about microcents. So those microcents have to add up. So you're going to have to get visibility to your content. And that means you're going to have to subvert attention. Attention is fiat. So what is money? Attention. And where do you get attention? You spread it across attention levels. What are people interested in? Easy way for me to kind of do that sometimes is to kind of look at, you can use a trend. So like there's Twitter trends, TW. Let's see. Here we go. Trending. So you can see DraftKings, playoffs. So people are doing things with the playoffs. So what if you had a sports channel? And with that sports channel, you had your music playing in the background. So you create a sports channel and play NFL clips, highlights, right? Some of it's going to be some work. But these are just ideas to create content, because content is the game for your content. Like your content, your media assets, your content have to get inside content and be used. And then it's about being distributed and getting visibility. That's the hashtags and the keywords, right? Or you can use Google Trends. For insights, right? So let's say if I want to do anime. Boom. You can see what areas. So I'll be looking up like, all right, so here's a play. Like if I'm just thinking out of my head and I'm just saying, okay, I want to start doing some anime plays, and I'm going to do that because I like anime. So then I'm like, oh, wow. If I just type in anime, Hawaii pops up as a high interest region. So I would be looking at Hawaiian animes, right? And using those keywords inside my YouTube videos and finding out, well, what is a Hawaiian? What are they talking about? Oh, Demon Slayer seems to be big. There's this right here, right? Kilua Zoldok. Evidently, Hunter X Hunter, right? So evidently something must be going on with this person and Hawaii. Let's see. Search in Google. What's this? I don't know why Hawaii comes up for him. Harley and Hawaii. Uh, don't understand it at all. But regardless, let's just go to hold on. Right here. So go back to anime and get out of Hawaii. Honolulu. Let's go back further. Okay, here we go. So let's just do the like topics, right? So you got Tokyo Revengers, a manga series, up 2,000%. So there you go. You got Tokyo Revengers. You could do some trailers for that. Put your music behind it. Highlights for things that are like they have an anime. So if they have, I guess the anime is there's a manga series. So is that are they getting an anime or something? Hold on. Search anime. Tokyo Revengers, a Crybaby episode. Yep. So you got anime. So there you go. It's showing you. So Tokyo Revengers and which episode topics. So you've been like looking for like Revengers episodes, finding out which episodes are the best, which scenes are the best, and choosing those to be able to make your clips out of. Which ones are people talking about the most? Let's see. Let's get out of Tokyo Revengers and get back to anime. All right. So then Rito of Healer, Chainsaw Man, this, Jujutsu Kaisen. And that's from the last 12 months. So like you can even like do, let's say, what's hot for the last 30 days. And then kind of look at Bleach. I know there's an animation for Bleach coming out. Attack on Titan TV series. So you're seeing some spikes in certain things. So that you can just look at this and see what kind of anime, Witcher anime, and make videos based off of those. And you can be ahead of a few trends. Having those clips with your music, putting links to your Spotify page for people to be able to have those little landmines to follow your Spotify or follow your whatever. Just make sure all those links are in your description, pointing back to your money pages, your Spotify page, your YouTube page. Like when you're on on YouTube, at least with CD Baby, they make their own channel for me at times. So like these channels, I'm trying to find one of them. I think it's in a playlist. Hold on. Where's the tragic music on YouTube? Soulphonics. I think this is one of it. View it. Yep, this is it. So this was created by CD Baby. Last updated. I don't update this stuff. This is them. So this is literally all the songs that I currently have for me just as. Anyway, I take this. I'll create playlists where I have my links for these, and then people play those on my page, and then I get my streams from that. So instead of me just putting my own videos directly, part of it is putting the CD Baby links out and making sure that I playlist those myself. And then another strategy is, again, making your own videos and putting them out. So that way you're able to get your own revenue from streaming your own music. So I am going to shut this down, my peoples. I'm going to go get some dinner. I am hungry. Just be careful. Like I said, this market's going to be playing a little tricky the next couple weeks. I'll be Monday's going to be no market on Monday for the stocks. So just in case, understand that I'm thinking that the next 2 days might be bad for Bitcoin and I'm going to keep an eye on Bitcoin to do it. If Bitcoin goes south over the next 2 days, so starting Sunday and Monday during the market being closed on Monday, then we might see a big downturn, not a major one, probably like a 0.5 to 1% downturn on the stock market. Maybe the S&P might do a 0 point something percent downturn based off the fear coming off of Bitcoin making any significant moves. So if Bitcoin makes any significant moves tomorrow, Sunday, or Monday while the stock market is closed, if we do any major downturns, then I can see the market opening down. But we will verify that closer to Monday morning to kind of see what's going on with that. But anyway, like I always say, y'all, I'm going to get out of here. Y'all be safe out on these streets, and I'm going to holler at you later.